Welcome to the All Virtual Aviation Podcast with your host, Tom West. Welcome to another episode of All Virtual Aviation Podcast. I'm your host, Tom West. Today, we'll be wrapping up our three-part series on VFR flying. Our topic today is flight planning. A lot of pilots ask, how do I do a proper flight plan? First, let's define what a flight plan is. It's the process of producing a flight plan to describe an aircraft's flight. Flight planning involves two safety-critical aspects: fuel calculation and ATC requirement. Fuel before departing, make sure you have enough fuel to make it to your destination airport with a 45-minute to 1 hour reserve fuel. Always plan your flight with the alternate airport just in case of weather or any unforeseen activity that you may have to divert. VFR flight should contact controllers when they're in their airspace, especially when departing or landing. VFR flights should contact controllers between 20 to 30 nautical miles before entering their airspace. And a Class B airspace requires a specific permission clearance to enter or exit their airspace. If you're flying in a Class Charlie or Delta, you're only required to make radio contact with the controller to let them know your intentions. VFR navigation. There are 4 types of navigation used during VFR flight. You have dead reckoning, pilotage, or you have GPS navigation and radio navigation. The route chosen is up to you as a pilot. Free flight takes place at or below 3,000 feet. So if you're flying below 3,000 feet, you can pretty much point your aircraft wherever you want to go and check out the nice view of the landscape. For VFR flying, there are 6 main instruments we'll talk about. First one is airspeed indicator. Most aircraft uses knots, and on your airspeed indicator it has a white section. This white section is a safe operation with flaps extended. The green section is the normal operating range. Yellow section, you want to make sure you're caution on your range of speed, and the red is the maximum speed of that aircraft, so you never want to exceed into the red for any reason. The attitude indicator gives information about the pitch and roll angles of your aircraft. The altimeter uses to show the elevation of the aircraft. VFR altimeter has 2 hands just like a clock has. The longer hand indicates hundreds of feet, while the shorter hand indicates thousands of feet. So under the turn bank indicator shows the rate of turn of the aircraft. The directional gyro, this compass is the primary method for determining the direction of the aircraft. Pretty much your yaw, climb, pitch, all that will be on the directional gyro. The most basic of all VFR navigation is pilotage. Pilotage means looking out the cockpit and looking onto your VFR map and see all the landmarks that are marked on the map and the symbols that help you find the references you can find on the ground. So pretty much you match the two up, and that's how you can tell if you're on track to fly VFR. Now let's get out and fly a VFR flight. Use what you learned in the last 2 episodes and we should have a good flight. So VFR, let's go on where the landscape takes you to see what wonders lie ahead. Alright, it's time for some news today. Let's get in the news. Pilots flying with us today. You can check out the social media sites. There's a lot of good activity going on in the community to show how they're flying this aircraft. Coronado Beechcraft D-18 is being released for the GA world. And then Just Flight just previewed their C-152 Cessna and X-Plane. You can head over there and check that out. And not to be outdone, A2A Simulations announced their VTOL Bonanza, which if you're like GA, the VTOL Bonanza is looking pretty nice to fly. If you're looking more of a scenery, Orbix YBCG Gold Coast Airport was just released. If you like flying over in Australia, it's a nice airport. Check it out. Orbis also introducing a couple other sceneries out there and some other great airports GA World has to offer. So head over to orbix.com and check them out today. Other than that, like I said, the biggest topic is Quality Wings. 787 was released for P3D version 4 and FSX. So if you like flying the big airliners, that's a great way to do a long haul overseas. It's good times, 14-hour flights, so check it out. Well, that's all the time I have today to bring you guys. Thanks for tuning in for another edition of All Virtual Aviation. And remember, All Virtual Aviation is bringing you virtual aviation news around the world at Mach 2.